In today's video, we are talking about how to discern the purpose for your life and where God may be leading you. Hey Bibsy Squad, welcome back to another episode of Biblically Serious. We're all about understanding the Bible and owning our faith. This is the second video in our career and faith series. In the first one, we compared career versus calling. And at the end of that video, I promised that I would show you guys the framework that I found most helpful when trying to determine what my calling is, what my purpose is, and what I feel like God may be leading me to. But before I share that framework, it's good for people to know that did not watch the first video that this is not going to be a video about how can I determine what career God is calling me to. Instead, in that first video, if you guys missed it, check it out. We talked about how career and calling are two different things, though they may work together or sometime overlap. So let's jump into the framework. This is a framework that was first shown to me when I was in a workshop held by Redeemer. There are 3 lenses you want to look into to get an understanding of where God may be leading you. The first one is affinity. The second one is ability, and the third is opportunity. Not only am I going to define what these 3 lenses are, but also show you guys some tools, give you some activities in order to help you dig deeper and really uncover what each one of these buckets could mean for you. But before you can do that, you have to understand who is the caller. The idea of a calling is someone really, for lack of better words, calling out to you, inviting you into a relationship, inviting you into something deeper. So you really have to know God in order to know yourself, your abilities, to have that self-awareness, and to understand what does purpose, what does meaning mean in this life. So now that you guys got that, let's jump into our 3 lenses. The first one up is affinity. It could be either like your passion or a mission, or it could be your interest. When we talk about passion and mission, it's about what needs in the world do you most resonate with you, and what people's needs do you feel most compelled to solve. When we talk about interest, it's about what areas of knowledge do you take great interest in. It's not about your skill per se, like how good or bad you are in this area, but it's more about what areas do you just get lost in. You're in a flow and you just completely lose track of time when you're learning about this or when you're doing this. So here are some questions you can ask yourself to try to uncover your affinity. Who do I want to help the most? What problems do I want to solve? What solution do I most want to provide? What do I love to create? What is it that you have a burden for? Something that you feel like you need to solve, like you would regret if you didn't even at least try. And if you get through these questions and you're still like, well, I don't really feel like I'm passionate about anything right now, go a little bit deeper and even pull from your life experience. Try to think about what God may have called you to at one point in time, and when did you feel affinity towards certain missions, to certain passions, towards certain interests. The next lens that you want to look through is ability. And ability is all about your strengths. It's about your skills. It's about, what am I good at doing and that I actually like doing. We don't want to think about things that you hate doing. In Romans 12:5, we see that God has designed us with different gifts. So sometimes our strengths could be like our spiritual gifts. Maybe it is evangelizing, maybe it is teaching, but there's also a sense of experience and knowledge that can also be your strength. This way you can build strength a lot of times is not because something is easy, but maybe you enjoy doing it so much that you've gotten through some of the entry-level basic aspects of some of your skills. So our ability, whether that is a natural talent or a spiritual gift or knowledge or skill, when we engage in these things, we are in a natural state of flow. We feel like we are accomplishing like some divine fulfillment when we do these things. So what are those things for you? There's a couple of ways you can figure out what your strengths are. There are spiritual gifts tests. There is a strengths finder test if you want to look at what are some of your natural skills and ability. There's like a Myers-Briggs personality test, or you can just ask and assess from those that are closest to you. You can do any kind of informal self-assessment. So maybe you think about, all right, over my lifetime, what have people complimented me on? What have I gotten good grades on? What activities and engagements bring me joy, focus, and excitement? And which ones leave me drained and frustrated? And if you haven't gotten feedback from anybody in your community, you can just ask them, when do I most come alive? When am I in my state of flow? When do you see me flourishing? What am I doing when I am super excited about what I'm doing? So our last lens to look through is opportunity. So opportunity is gonna answer the question, where does the community show me I am most needed? Whether that's a leader or a friend or a family member that's saying, you know what, you would be really good in this spot or doing this thing or in this role. That's one way to try to figure out opportunity. Another way that you can look at opportunity is what are some areas I can explore? What are some great opportunities where I can kind of experiment, try something new? Maybe there's a ministry that's not created. Maybe there's a nonprofit that's not created. Or maybe there's no one in a remote country, spreading the gospel. Like, it could be as extreme as that, or it could be as minor as helping a neighbor. Like, where are the opportunities that I can even explore and create something new based off of my strengths and my affinity? So the thing with opportunity, it could be an open door opportunity, or it can be an invitation opportunity. And the part that you don't want to get tripped up on opportunity is if I get hired, or if there's a job for it, or if there's an open role for it. That's not what opportunity is. So let's think about a tool that we can use to try to identify opportunity. So there's this thing called design thinking. And for simplicity, it's all about empathizing with the people that you want to solve the problem for, ideating about some possible solutions, implementing those solutions and testing them, and then learning from them and continuing to iterate. It's not about finding one solution, because you know that you are really falling in love with the problem, and the problem, as well as the people who own those problems or most resonates with those problems, can always change. So it is an ongoing evolution of trying to understand how to solve those people's problems and meet those needs. Knowing that about design thinking, now applying it to this idea of how can I see opportunities that God may have opened before me. You want to think about, okay, we figured out what our passion mission is. What am I resonating with? What am I super interested in? What are the problems I want to solve? And then we figure out, okay, these are my abilities. These are how I could do it. These are the skills I could bring to the problem. What you want to do from there is try to figure out an opportunity. All right, is there a place where I can bring my skills and my passion to help solve this problem? Whether that place is something that I'm being invited to or something I can create, something that's an open door for me. And once you try that thing out, the idea is that that opportunity can change, and it will change. That opportunity may look like serving in church, serving in your family, working at a nonprofit, working at a for-profit. It could mean a whole bunch of different things. And the idea with design thinking is we're going to implement it and we're going to iterate, and that's just going to be our cycle. What I want you guys to do next, work through these questions yourself and try to uncover your affinity, your ability, and the opportunities that God may be placing in your life right now. And then I'm going to challenge you guys to go after one of those opportunities. I feel like you're leading me to this opportunity. I'm going to take it. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to be faithful in it, but I'm going to keep listening. I'm going to keep listening, and I'm going to keep praying. And if you pivot me or you redirect me a little bit, I'm going to be aware and listening. And I think this frees us up from feeling like we have to make the right decision right away, feeling like our purpose is tied into a specific role, or feeling like we need to get it right the first time. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to like it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.